all children are born genius. All children are born creative, but they lose their creativity by education. How the educational system, especially the religious education, whether Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, all types of religious education, abolishes the creative power of children. I'll give you an example. Because some people think that feminism is something we learn. All children are born revolutionary. All girls are feminists. I became a feminist when I was a child. How? It's very simple. I had a brother who was older than me. And he was spoiled because he was a boy. And he was lazy in school, and he didn't work at home, but he had all the privileges because he was a boy. And I was the girl. I worked at school, very good at school, to satisfy my parents. And I was very good in the kitchen, working with my mother. But I received half of my brother. So I was angry. And I told my parents, why you are doing that? Why you are unfair? And you prefer my brother. So my parents said, because he's a boy. I said, so what? He's a boy. So what? And then when they are cornered, they told me, because that's what God said. So I started to be furious and angry. I went to my room and I wrote a letter to God. This was my first letter to God. And I told him, dear God, you are supposed to be fair. You are a symbol of justice. Why you are unfair to me and you prefer my brother? Of course, I didn't know the address of God. And so I kept the letter and then I burned it. I was afraid. But this is feminism. This is feminism, the courage and ability to criticize God, to criticize the father, the grandfather, the president, all power in heaven and on earth. I don't call it feminism, I call it humanism. Humanism, because I am not fighting only for women's rights. I'm fighting for human rights, the rights of the poor, the peasants, the working class, of men who are tortured, men who go to prison. Anybody who is having torture or inequality, I am fighting for. And everybody here in this room is doing the same. Whether you are a scientist or a doctor or a musician, your goal is to have a fair society, to have justice, to have equality, to have real freedom, not democracy. I don't believe in democracy. Democracy had a very bad name because democracy is not freedom. Election is not freedom. Election is a force. It's not really, we are not really electing what we want. Money dominates election. So we are living in a very, very unjust society, whether in Spain or in Egypt or in America, in Europe. We live in one world, not three worlds. Some people say, now, while you are coming from the third world, this is an insult. I'm not coming from the third world. We live in one world dominated by the same system, the capitalist, patriarchal, religious, colonial, racist, historical system. And we have to study history to know why this system is so unjust and unfair to many people in the world. Look at the immigrants, those millions of immigrants coming from other countries here to Spain or to Europe. how they live. Why should we differentiate between people because they were born in Egypt or they were born in America? Why? Why should we differentiate between people because they were born women or men? Why? This identity politics is false, exactly like the